Welcome to Catalyzing Faith, where we seek to be a catalyst for your faith so that you can be a catalyst in the world around you. And one of the ways we do that is by providing some quick thoughts on a topic that we think might be important for you and your faith as you engage with those who may or may not agree with you on a variety of topics relating to Christianity, philosophy, theology, or whatever it may be. And today I'd like to talk about the topic of humility. And this is really a strange topic to talk about because it doesn't sound very humble to ever say, hey, I'm qualified to talk about humility. And in full disclosure, I am not the person to go to if you want a lesson on humility. In fact, arrogance and a lack of humility is sort of what has characterized me and my demeanor in the past, and it's something I work on and I don't always succeed at, but it's something I recognize as important. Because when I was growing up, say when I was a teenager, I was in high school, I would be accused of being arrogant all the time. In fact, someone even sent a message to my sister once to let her know that they thought I was the most arrogant person they had ever met. So just a bit of context there for why this is at the forefront of my mind all the time. It's because that's where I come from. That's my base level. That's where I start off, this level of arrogance. So it's really easy for me to take a look at what I think I know and the amount of studying that I've done and the information that I've acquired, and think that when I'm going into a conversation with someone that I immediately know more than them, that I need to make sure that I let them know that I know more than they do. And those who have been in disagreements with me in the past can probably back me up that that's something I have done in the past. But when we're engaging with people who disagree with us, especially, it's important to make sure that we keep a sense of humility, that we recognize that they might have something to bring to the table as well. That it's not necessarily going to just be the same old, tired responses that we are used to hearing and that we feel really proud of ourselves when we dismantle time and time again. They might have a new perspective, and we need to be open to that. So when we engage with those who disagree with us, be aware that they might have something to offer. And this is hard to do when you first get into apologetics. You listen to someone like William Lane Craig, for example, and his debates and how he just systematically takes down his opponent every single time. And we tend to get really confident that, yeah, this is obvious. God does exist. The Kalam cosmological argument, the fine-tuning argument, the moral argument, they are sound. No one can ever take them down. And when we engage with people who probably haven't listened to those debates, we tend to feel a sense of superiority just based on that little bit that we know that they don't. But it's important to recognize that there's a lot more to these discussions than just what you get from a William Lane Craig debate, as great as that may be. So we need to be open to the opportunity to learn more from the other person that we are talking to. Now, there's a flip side of this. There are people that you are going to encounter who will have no sense of humility whatsoever. And this comes in the form of people who really don't feel the need to even engage with the experts in the field. For example, I was encountering somebody on the topic of the Kalam. We were talking about it, and they were very clear that they had no desire. They felt no need to even look at the writings that William Lane Craig has done on the Kalam cosmological argument because they felt sufficient in their logical assessment of the argument to say that they could dismiss it. And let's just think about that for a minute. There's somebody who probably isn't even as many years old as years William Lane Craig has spent studying the Kalam, and they felt like he had nothing to offer them. Now, this is an example of someone that I was engaging with, but I think we've all been there before. There's some great atheist philosophers out there. Graham Oppy would be probably the top of the list. And if you are a Christian getting involved in apologetics, you need to be aware that there are these atheist thinkers who have spent more time thinking about the arguments than you have. And you need to be willing to acknowledge that they have something to teach you as well. So if you're new to apologetics, by all means, keep reading William Lane Craig. Keep reading J.P. Moreland. Keep reading any of these Christian philosophers who engage in apologetics. But be sure to also step outside your comfort zone a little bit and read some of the people who dispute the argument that your favorite apologist is putting forth. And make sure you listen and really try and take to heart what is being said. Make sure you understand it, and make sure that if you are going to dismiss it, you have some really good reasons for doing so. Because the last thing we want to do as Christians when we defend the Christian faith is come off as though we are better than the other person. We do not want to come off as though we are superior. We want to meet them where they're at. We want to engage with them where they're at as equals, and we want to ultimately show them the love of Christ and have that be on full display so that they can see Christ working through us. And you cannot do that if you lack humility. And I'm speaking just as much to myself as I am to any one of you watching this video right now, because as I mentioned earlier, this is probably one of my biggest struggles. So if you're watching this and you are maybe feeling a bit convicted, that's good. You're not alone. It's supposed to be how you feel listening to someone talk about humility, because if we're honest, none of us stands up to where we really should be when it comes to how humble we are in especially these disagreements about our faith. So if you take nothing else away from this, humility is important. When you're engaging with somebody who disagrees with you, be open to the possibility that they have something to teach you as well. Do not go into that as though you are the only one there to teach them a lesson, because that's the only way you're going to have a productive, a fruitful conversation with someone of a different belief system. So if you find this sort of commentary helpful, please let us know in the comment section so we can keep putting it together and keep putting it out there for you. It's not the same type of production that some of the other videos are, but it's some quick thoughts. It's a quick comment. It's really just open, honest. If you like that sort of thing, let us know. And stick around at some of the other videos on this channel, because we have other videos like this. We have book reviews. There's plenty for you to enjoy. Before you go and jump onto a different video, be sure to push like on this video and subscribe to the channel. This is Lucas from Catalyzing Faith. Thanks for watching.